what do you think the word category means to Whitehead? Because the section on categories I found very confusing, I must confess, and especially the section called Categories of Explanation. Weirdly, it strikes me that it's a series of assertions, not many of which have anything to do with explanation in their nature. I,
Sure.
I found that section really, like, I don't understand really what's. There must be a rationale, but I'm not privy to it.
Well, he says that his, first chapter after the first part of Process and Reality, which is the categorical scheme, the first chapter was the method of speculative philosophy that we spoke about earlier. But after that, yeah, it gets pretty incomprehensible. But he warns you that it will be that way,
Mm-hmm.
and that these categories will only make sense when he applies them in parts 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 of the book, uh, where he brings the categories to bear on the special sciences like physics and biology and physiology and psychology, um, religious experience, and so on. And so they're not supposed to make sense yet. And the the order of presentation of his book, Process and Reality, is not the same as the order of composition. In other words, the order that he wrote it. For him to produce those categories, he first had to carefully analyze all of these various disciplines of human knowledge and human experience, from science to art to spiritual and religious experience, and see what generic principles
Yeah,
he could abstract from, right? And
yeah, yeah.
so that's where these categories are coming
Oh,
from. A
yeah.
category is just a general principle.
Well, that's the bit I find confusing because some of it seems like it really is category in the usual sense. I think of category as like a box in which to put things. That's basically my mental picture of a category. And so some of what he talks about and labels category seems genuinely to be a category. And the thing I find confusing as well is like the stuff on explanation, the actual content of it is quite lucid. The whole scheme and all the applications of it that I've read so far, it all makes a lot of sense to me. I just like the stuff in the category of explanation, I think it's called, just doesn't seem like a series of categories. And so I was wondering, I guess, whether category maybe has a wider sense for Whitehead than the the lay sense that I'm operating under, or
Yeah, I mean, there are some instances where category means like a box to put things in. I think Whitehead's imagining categories more as like the ways that things function.